Hi again, I'm Ryan, your host of The Toast, and it's Saturday morning. I got my cereal, got my remote. It's time for some goddamn cartoons. Cartoon theme songs today are terrible. Most of them. I mean, honestly, how do we go from this
There's a power that comes from deep inside of you.
to this?
How the story goes, we find out about a treasure in the grand line.
Since when did cartoon themes lose their magic? It feels like there's just no effort anymore, and they took less time to make these themes than to make the cereal. Now, it may seem like nostalgia, but nostalgia is just, remembering the good times of youth, and frankly, I never grew up, so I don't have that problem. For starters, intros to 80s cartoons explained everything. They got you up to speed immediately, be it Ninja Turtles or Killer Tomatoes. You were there, you were in the know as soon as you finished the opening credits. Censorship did not yet have a stranglehold on cartoons. We got guns, we got buzzsaws, we got nightmare creatures, all of it front row center. Imagination was alive and well. People may argue that we could never have come up with surreal yet funny and intelligent ideas that we do nowadays back in the 80s, but what? We had shows about frickin' Puddington talking peas and Bucky O'Hare, a glowing green rabbit who flew a starship.
Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! Mutants and aliens and toads beware!
So don't go tell me we didn't have imagination in the 80s, you young whippersnappers! And the art was amazing. I mean, yes, we had simplified character animation, but it was before the digital age. But despite that, we still had like hand-painted backdrops. I mean, look at this stuff. And this is in a show about cartoon raccoons. Can we just pause for a second and say that the nerdy nephew of Cyril Sneer had a girlfriend? That's progressive for the 80s. Probably the most important thing is that these intros had a full score. I mean, a full orchestral score. And I'm not just talking about the ones with like the pop star kind of vocals and singing. I mean, they're great too. When you get past that, when you get past any kind of voice work, there is some amazing music in the background. I mean, take He-Man. I mean, it's the best of the best.
And the masters of the universe.
Take out the narration at the beginning and just listen. That's some good shit! And exciting. Talk about exciting. I've never gotten so pumped for a show than when I hear the Thundercats theme song. The energy and animation in that just inflames all my senses and gives me shivers to this day. Credit to the Thundercats remake. I mean, I know that their intro is only about 5 or 6 seconds long, but at least it's faithful to the original, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. And you do get the taste of the song, and it still gives you that little bit of, Thundercats. Again, trying to look at this critically and not nostalgically. Trapdoor, DuckTales, Transformers, Visionaries had a whole choir for Pete's sake. Thomas the Tank Engine, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mask, talk about catchy theme songs.
Masked crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, fighting crime.
Ghostbusters I'm not counting because they just redid the song from the movie. Chip and Dale, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Hell, Dungeons and Dragons didn't even have a theme song, it just had epic narration.
I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, narration is all you need sometimes. Just get your audience up to speed and give them the show.
Thundering across the stars to save the universe from the monster minds.
It is a time when magic is more powerful than science.
In 2086, 2 peaceful aliens journeyed to Earth, seeking our help.
In a distant time and faraway place, the planet of New Texas floats deep in space.
In the near future, Doc Terror and his cyborg companion hacker unleash their forces to conquer Earth.
I mean, narration itself can sometimes be better than the theme song. I mean, case in point, Count Duckula.
Castle Dracula, home for many centuries to a dreadful dynasty of vicious vampire ducks, the Counts of Dracula.
Yeah, if my ears could applaud. At this point, I've got to interject and say, yes, there are modern cartoons with good theme songs. I mean, that do explain what the hell is going on in a show that you'd have no idea what's going on in the show otherwise, a la SpongeBob. They don't get a pass with the actual song itself being good, because it's really not. But it does do the job of explaining the show. So, okay, you can toddle along, SpongeBob. You get a pass. Hey, Patrick, I'm a big fan. Now, if you think I'm too biased and giving too much credit to all these big budget orchestras and professional singers doing theme songs, just take a look at Inspector Gadget. Simple synthesized tune that everybody knows, and you still get a full cartoon story during the credits. And we didn't always need action-packed excitement as our opening credits. Sometimes you just needed a nice wind through the willows. The wind in the willows sang softly to me. Makes you miss the old country. I may be complaining that modern day cartoon intros are too short, but I have to admit we had some short intros in the 80s too. Behold, Banana Man.
This is 29 Acacia Road, and this is Eric, the schoolboy who leads an amazing double life. For when Eric eats a banana, an amazing transformation occurs. Eric is Banana Man, ever alert for the call to action.
Yeah, try and unsee that. When we hit the 90s, that's when things really, they didn't explode, they just kind of took a shift. A lot more into kind of clever theme songs. Like, I mean, Warner Brothers really hit their stride. Warner Brothers really did rule the 90s. I mean, with songs like Tasmania, Freakazoid, Pinky and the Brain, Batman, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. I mean, to this day, I gotta admit that Animaniacs is probably the best cartoon theme song ever devised.
Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we break loose and then the moose, and now you know the plot.
It is just so clever and aware of itself, and it does its job perfectly. And to this day, I can watch the opening credits, and I never want to get to the show in a hurry. I enjoy the opening credits, and they change it up. It was kind of like the Simpsons couch gag, where they added a new little bit into the actual song every time you watched it. X-Men, Darkwing Duck, Reboot, Dexter's Lab, Chip and Dale, Pokemon, okay. Alright, let's talk Pokemon. If you grew up in the 90s, you know the lyrics to the Pokemon theme song. Don't try and hide it, you know them.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
To this day, I'm not ashamed that me and my friend used to ride around in a car with the windows down, blasting the Pokemon theme song. Yeah, you know what we did. Forget war, that's how true brothers are made. I rewatched all these cartoons before I made this video, and I cannot believe all the misheard lyrics that I heard when I was small that now I understand. He goes 100 miles an hour, he's green dynamite, of course! Of modern day cartoons, I do have to give a shout out to Avengers Assemble. They had an original song which fit the themes perfectly. And it was so catchy. I mean, I caught myself singing that thing without even knowing it. My friends used to bug me and be like, "Hey, you're singing Avengers Assembled again." I'd be like, "Oh, really? I didn't realize." I did. Same goes for Dragon Ball Z Kai. I mean, that thing is so upbeat that it's so enjoyable.
Nothing ever dies, we will rise again.
It's a guilty pleasure. So there. Wonder what it is with all the 80s theme songs and attitude. Like, it's all about kids with attitude, or hedgehogs with attitude, or biker mice from Mars with attitude. I guess we had a serious lack of attitude in the 80s, but we have too much attitude now. So maybe our call for more attitude in the 80s is what caused What Have We Done? Well, thanks for watching me rant about 80s and 90s cartoons. If you want to see more, click away. And I'm going to leave you with an outro this time instead of an intro. That's right, there was a cartoon that had a better outro than an intro. Cheers.
Captain